You have a state league league?
That's y'all's job.
It's game week.
This game week.
The ACC's had a lot of trouble out of conference in recent years.
Yeah.
There's a couple big marquee games this weekend, and of course next weekend there's 3 or 4, including you guys at Oklahoma. What's your feel? How important is that the ACC gets off in a quick start? You get 5 teams in the AP's top 20 starting the season, and to maybe to kind of, I'm sure you'll hear it from maybe your buddy that's at Wisconsin or your friends back in Texas about the quality of the league. What's your feel about having to have a real good start there?
Well, obviously important for us. There's always an argument of what conference is the best in the nation, and every year, I mean, it's a different year, and there's been the argument that ACC hasn't been as strong as the SEC and the Big 12, and lucky for us, we're playing a Big 12 team next week, and that's a big statement for us, and it is important for all of us to be able to compete outside of our league and to play well, and so I mean it's important. I mean, we'll see what happens.
How do you get excited for Sanford? How do you get up for Sanford?
I mean, it's the first game of the year, and a lot of changes. There's a lot of excitement in the air already. We've been looking forward to this since the end of last year. It's going to be a tough game. We know that they're going to come in. They obviously have a chip on their shoulder. I mean, they're the underdogs, and we're expecting them to play hard. And we're motivated to play as hard as we can, and we're not holding anything back. I mean, we're showing everything that we have. We're game planning everything, and our full focus is on Sanford, and we're just excited to kick off the season.
Christian, what do you remember about your first meeting with Jimbo Fisher? Like the first time you met him?
First time I met him, I think I met him like the lunchroom, and Drew Weatherford actually introduced me. I mean, I don't even know if he knew who I was, and I mean, he was just talking. I mean, probably talking about hunting or something. But that was the first time I met him, and soon after we started meeting together as quarterbacks and talking football and trying to install the offense before spring ball started. But yeah, I mean, he was just a guy when I first met him.
When's the first time you think he saw something in you?
He always tells me it was that first day of spring ball, that the first practice we ever had with him. He said, that I was probably going to be the best that was out on the practice field. I wasn't there yet, but as time progresses, that I'd be there. That's what he said. He told Coach Ballin, and so he told me from day one that he was impressed with me.
He told you that at the time?
No, not at the time.
Okay.
He told me this like 2 weeks ago.
Do you remember the first time he got on you about something in practice?
So it was that first day. I mean, I remember we had like a run check, a zone check, and I checked it to the wrong side, and right away he jumped on me, and it kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that, and so ever since day one, he's ridden me.
Christian, what would you consider to be a successful season for yourself and for the team this year?
For myself, I'm not big into stats. I mean, I just want to win some games. I mean, I came to this university and this team to compete for an ACC championship and a national title. And as a team, we won a 10-win season. We want to win the state of Florida. We want to get to the ACC championship, and we want to get back in the national limelight. And I think, if we don't get any of those, I mean, I'd definitely be disappointed. And but for us, we kind of got to take one game at a time, and it begins this week. And as long as we stay focused on the process of how we're going to get there, then it'll take care of itself.
Can you talk about what it's going to be like for you and maybe your teammates whenever you take the field or come out of the tunnel on a Saturday and just seeing Jimbo leading you guys out on the field instead of Bobby Bowden? What do you think that's going to be like for you?
I don't know if I even notice. I mean, I don't know if anyone's going to notice. I mean, you're so focused in the game. I mean, I think definitely it's going to have a different feel, but you're so caught in the moment you don't really think about stuff like that. But it's going to be a huge adrenaline rush. I mean, it's been a long time coming. I mean, summer flew by, but I feel like the season's it's kind of taken forever to get here. I don't know, it's been weird, but we're just excited. We're excited to finally get out there and be able to do this. And I know Coach Fisher's excited as well.
You talk about the adrenaline rush and the excitement. How important is it going to be to manage all that in the first quarter? Make sure you just don't go out there and just let that take control.
Yeah, well, football's a game where you can't get too high and you can't get too low on yourself, and adrenaline kind of plays a big role in that. And you can't get too excited. A lot of excitement, a lot of time leads to mistakes because you lose your focus, and we got to be sure that Especially against a team like Sanford. I mean, they can come up and surprise you if you don't start off the right way. It's going to be a close game, and when you get to the fourth quarter, all of a sudden it's tied. I mean, I've been in this situation before. If you look at Jacksonville State last year, so it's going to be important for us to come out, stay focused, and start fast, start early.
Is it hard to not just look ahead to Oklahoma? Is it hard to focus on this weekend against Sanford?
No, not really. I mean, personally, I haven't really thought a whole lot about Oklahoma. I did it over the summer and watched some film, but now I'm in full focus is on Stanford, and Coach Fisher done a good job of making sure that we're staying focused on them. And he's been preaching the whole time. We just got to take one game at a time. I mean, Oklahoma game is going to count as one win and one loss, and the Stanford game is going to count as one win and one loss. So they all weigh the same.
Who'd you look at more this summer?
We look at more this summer. Definitely Oklahoma. But I watch film with everybody, and I watched a lot of film with Stanford as well. And, so every game's just important.
Christian, last year you talked a little bit about the communication in the huddle and how you were keeping guys loose, and how much guys were talking. How has that changed this season, if at all?
I don't think it's changed at all. The guys still need to stay loose. I think it helps having the veteran line. Having all those guys back. They kind of. I don't have to do it as much. I mean, they keep everyone focused, and everyone stays focused in the huddle. And we're going to have a lot of young guys playing at the skill positions. I think it's going to be important for them to stay focused and relaxed and everything. And we're just going to try to have fun in the huddle and keep everyone relaxed and focused on what they're supposed to do.
How different is the feel for this opener? Even a lot of obviously openers going into. How different is this week going into this one?
It's a little different. I mean, obviously, the whole preparation and the process of just because of the changes and everything is a little different. But the first game it kind of always just has that feel. Always that feel of excitement and anticipation, and it's a little different than last year. I mean, last year was a huge Miami game, nationally televised and everything, and on a Monday night. So I mean, obviously it's going to be different this year, but I mean, it's still just as exciting, and we're just waiting for it to get here. I can't wait.
Christian, for someone that doesn't know, can you explain to us what CP7 is?
What CP7 is? It's a nickname. I can't remember who started it. I don't know if it was like my mom or what. I don't know how it got around, but obviously it's just my initials and my number, and I just got caught on. I don't know how. I mean, there's CP3, Chris Paul, and CP3, and CP7 kind of came out of nowhere.
And how does that come into terms with the website that you put up?
I think it's original and kind of brings a bit of attraction. Rather than just saying Christian Ponder or whatever. CP7 kind of allures more people, I guess, and obviously CP7forheisman.com, and the website looks great and everything, and that's just kind of what they're going off of, CP7.
So would you say that you had a large creation in the making of the website, a large say?
They did a lot of it on their own. I mean, they kind of came to me and asked, if I liked it and showed me everything that was going on. But it was all their idea, and they put in all the creative work and everything. And they did a heck of a job.
Christian, with this game being the first in the Heisman campaign, how much focus are you putting on to personal goals in the Heisman compared to the team goals of winning?
I'm not putting any goals in the Heisman. I mean, as long as you win as a team, that's going to take care of itself. I mean, I don't care if I throw for 2,000 yards or 4,000 yards. I mean, if we win 10 games, we win 12 games, we win 14 games, then I'm satisfied. And, if you don't win any games, I mean, you're not going to be considered for the Heisman. So it really is a team award if you look at it. So I'm not that big into individual stats.
Christian, it's not because it's a noon game, it's a non-major opponent to start the season after there's going to be a decent number of no-shows and empty seats. I mean, how disappointing is that going to be for you if you look out and see a lot of empty seats?
It is disappointing. You always come to this home, your home game, your home stadium, looking for a lot of people and a lot of support, and you don't see that many fans. I mean, it's a little frustrating, but for us, we're there. I mean, we're going to play no matter what, whether it's one fan in the stands or if there's 83,000. But there is definitely a different feel when it's full and when it's packed and there's a lot of people there. There's a lot more excitement in the air, and so I mean, I just hope that everyone can make it out if they can.
I mean, do you look back at NC State and the Maryland games last year, and you looked at because that was a totally different, like you said, a different feel. Than
it was a totally different feel. I mean, it's like quiet in the stands, and I mean, you definitely lose your home field advantage, and there's not, you know, you don't get that adrenaline rush that you would when it's like when it was the Miami game. I mean, it was a totally different field.
How good is Bjorn? I don't know how to say it. Burner?
Ponder.
Yeah, pardon me, he's my twin.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
I mean, obviously he looks like this.
Yeah.